Hey, hi everyone.
Hi. Nawal, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty well, Venkat.
Okay, thank you, Nawal. I'm able. Same here. I'm able to hear you very well.
Okay, great.
Where are you now, Nawal?
I'm at my home, Bilandur, here in Bangalore.
Okay. I'm at HSR, but today I'm at native.
Kuppam, you said, right?
Yeah, correct, correct. You know that place?
I used to come to Bangalore via train, right? Via
Yeah.
Chennai.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Kuppam
Yeah,
is
correct.
like the only place in Andhra Pradesh, right? Which is
Oh, that's true. That's true. Exactly.
which
Yeah.
yeah, which is at the border between Andhra and
All
Tamil.
three states. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. That's true. Uh,
I think people will just come. I'll just join you.
yeah, sure.
Good evening, everyone. Hey, Venkat.
Hi, Vijetha. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, voice is absolutely clear.
Oh, thank you.
Naval,
Yours as well. Yeah.
yes. So fantastic. Thank God. Great. Thanks, Naval. Thanks, Naval, for joining in, and it's good. Yeah, I think you guys are settled in, so we can kickstart at 6:31.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Sure,
Okay.
sure. Yeah.
So I think Jagat might take maybe a minute or two later. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
but
Yeah.
we will not waste time. So
Mm-hmm.
let me just give my introduction. That good evening, everyone. Absolutely
Yeah.
delighted to introduce you and to some great startups tonight, and of course, welcome to the session of Startup Sunday. This is our informal boardroom where what we will do is we will of course have Jagat from Vidphone, and today we have Venkat and Naval. We will be talking about their companies, and I want to give that privilege to them. And of course, more importantly, what we are going to be discussing is the challenges that they face, and these are some unique challenges. At the same time, I'm sure for the audience you will resonate because these are some things that you guys also will be grappling with. And then what can we do to solve these problems? So without further delay, I just make it very simple. Naval and Venkat, introduce your companies first for a minute or two, not more than that, and then we'll jump into the two challenges you're facing.
Mm-hmm.
We will make sure that we make a note of it through the presentation and also on the chat window that
Mm-hmm.
is open from Vidphone,
Mm-hmm.
and then let's see what we can do about those challenges. All right.
Okay.
So whoever would like to go first, please go for it.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Let me take that. Is that okay, Venkat?
Yeah. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Sure.
Please go ahead.
So, Vijeta, can I just share my screen with the
Go
slide?
ahead. Go ahead. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Right. Thanks.
The screen share is open.
Yeah. Right. So, you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, hi everyone. My name is Nawal Lodha, and I belong to a startup called Plugo. And I'll just introduce my startup, what we have been up to. So, we are into it's an IoT-based startup where we have been working on rental power banks. Say, for example, your phone is low on battery, you can rent a power bank from one place and return in some other place in the city, and maybe it will deduct around 10 rupees from your wallet. So we went to the market in it's December last year, December January, and it's been exactly like almost 1 year now. And in the first 2 3 months, we got very good traction. We were able to convert 1,000 B2B partnerships, and we also went live in India as well as in like in 3 4 cities in India, and we also went live in Germany, and we got good traction. Like we have got signed up 65,000 plus users. Now, post COVID, things have really gone haywire because the shared economy has taken a beating, and a lot of people are not really just looking for this kind of product. So we had to pivot a little bit and get into a parallel market stream. So I'll talk about briefly about that as well. And but I think we have been fairly successful, like, with respect to like within a matter of, let's say, 2 3 months, we were able to close a lot of good partnerships, and we were able to really get our users to download the app and use our services because people really needed something like this. So that is what keeps us going all the time. Yeah, and what we have done right now is like we have pivoted a little bit, and we have started another venture called Flowworks, and a great team has come together to participate in this initiative where we are building an ecosystem for electric vehicles. So we see a lot of people, a lot of companies are actually already started selling EV vehicles in the electric vehicles in the market. And what we are trying to do is like how we can really provide a good ecosystem and enable all of them so that they can leverage some of the facilities and the expertise which we have in this area. So we are pretty good in shared mobility, I'll say, and it's battery swapping, and we were able to drive consumer behavioral change with Plugo. And now that is what we are trying to replicate with Flowworks right now, where we are actually having products like say battery swapping cabinets and EV charging infrastructure and shared mobility platform for our users. And the on the upper side, you see what you see is like the kind of products which we are launching right now, and these are like some of the battery swapping products, some charging units and applications and other things. So we are just trying to build a very cohesive ecosystem in the Indian market, where we can actually provide, we can make in India and for the world, of course, and we can provide battery as a services to anybody and everybody who requires this. We are more focused on B2B at this time, right? So this is about Plugo. So Vijetha, do you want me to cover the pain points in the same go, or Venkat can just introduce his company first?
Muted, sir. Vijetha, muted.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, Vijetha is not audible. He's
Yeah,
muted.
muted. You're
Yeah.
muted. You're unmute.
Right. So I'll just stop sharing, and probably Venkat can talk about his company, and then we can go to the kind of struggles which we are
Yeah,
facing.
yeah. We
Yeah,
can
yeah.
do that. Yeah. Venkat, you're ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
you.
Sometimes we forget to unmute because the discipline is to keep on mute because you should not have background noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Venkat.
Yeah, yeah. Hi all. Good evening. Thanks for joining, and it's my privilege to join you guys and share what we are doing at Ciphercode. We are a 2-year-old startup. We are innovating in the space of blockchain to provide the various new applications other than the fintech, where the blockchain is known well for the cryptocurrencies. And we brought this technology and customized it to various applications. And of course, we are doing well. And as all the businesses, we are also having few challenges we can discuss at the end. And basically, what we do is we provide a digital ID for every product, which is every physical product will have a logical attribute in the cloud. So we have more than half a dozen customers, enterprise customers, and we have more than 2 dozens of customers on various stages, and we are in the conversations. And like others, we also faced a challenge during the COVID time, and we have pivoted little bit, and it is working well, and long way to go. So what we basically do is a lot of in the era of connected consumer and digital, and many brands like if you say in number one of the research says that a traditional companies 90% of companies doesn't know 80%, sorry, 80% of companies doesn't know 90% of their consumers. So if you don't know your consumers, you cannot influence them in the era of personalization, and you can't differentiate. One of my customer well said, "It's this is a commodities business in FMCG." I asked, "Why do you want to know your end consumers?" He said that only the differentiation between the commodity and the brand is knowing the end consumer. Commodity will not know end consumer, but brand will be knowing. That's why I want to connect to end my consumers. That's what he said. He gave a statement, a beautiful statement, what he has given. That's really matters connecting to the end consumers. So we are providing the brands, a physical brands in a platform, SaaS platform, where they can log in and create their digital IDs for their products. Whether they are producing a million or billion individually, they can track the product, and they can use their products as a channels, and they can engage with the end customers, end consumers. End consumers can participate in a brand program, and this is going to be a beautiful and powerful platform. And we have customers in all the spaces like FMCG, apparel, and luxury, as well as pharmaceutical. And we are exploring in new areas. And recently, we partnered with one of the second largest IT company as their technology providers. And all is said well. And a couple of challenges are there. Maybe when we get into the conversation, we can discuss. I'll hand over to Vijetha for a moderation. What will be the next step? And if any questions here, yeah, I'm more than
Yeah,
happy if
definitely,
Vijetha
definitely,
allows. Yeah,
definitely. Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you so much. See, and also Jagat, would you like to quickly talk about Vidphone as well? You can go next. And
Sure.
then we'll do the circle back to Nawal and everyone about the two
Yeah, sure.
challenges.
I'm handing over. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir.
yeah.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Vijetha.
Thanks to everyone for logging in. Thanks, Vijetha. Thanks, Venkat. Thanks, Nawal. Nawal, also great to see you again after a long time. So let me just share my screen. I'll just run you through very quickly what Bitcoin is about. Right. So I keep it very short. So Bitcoin, is my screen visible?
Not yet, not yet,
Not
Jagat.
yet, not yet.
Not yet.
It's not yet visible.
No, not yet visible.
Just give me a minute. I'll just let me just pop back in, Vijetha. Just give me
Okay,
one
no
second.
worries, no worries, boss. Go for it.
I'll just sign back. I'll just sign back.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me. I'm not sure. It's the first time it's happening on mine. Let's see what happens. Okay, is it visible now?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
absolutely clear. Absolutely clear. Thank you.
Thank you. So Vidphone, we call ourselves the video phone for business, and very quickly an overview. So what Vidphone is, we are a secure video communications platform for remote business. We cover both internal and external communication. What this means is typically not only are you looking at people that you already know that typically you will send a schedule link to, but also any outside customer or anybody can also directly reach out to the particular user through their Vidphone ID, right? So for in my case, it's vidphone.me/Jagat. So anybody can reach out and schedule calls. Uh, Vmail is a brand new concept we have launched last week. This is to put an end to video meeting fatigue that's actually coming in 2020. This is what we call asynchronous video chat. Basically, it's like what we call a video messaging service, right? It's like if you look at telephone, you have phone calls, and you also have something like a SMS, which is a asynchronous kind of medium, which is very important. The thing with video communication is always synchronous, right? So that's why they fatigue. So I would invite people to try out Vmail. We're probably the first in the world to do this. We also have a full suite, of webinars, SDK, chat widget, along with video appointments, which what we call the video business model, right? So that's really the core features. We also have a lot of community initiatives. One of them being the League of Extraordinary Startups, which we do every week. Also, Startup Sunday, this event. The Vidphone show is again another property that we're doing, and we have a lot of knowledge sessions. So this is a quick overview on Vidphone, our business, and some community initiatives as well. So I'll get to the problems in the next slide once I get my turn. Thanks.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, so I think Nawal, if you don't mind, if you could go next with your slide about the two challenges, then Venkat and then Jagat. And once you finish that, just take your 2 points, put it on the chat window for everyone. All right. Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
Yeah.
Go for it, Nawal. Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
man.
Okay. Fine. So the first problem which we constantly face is, of course, I think a lot of probably a lot of starters will relate with me, right? So even I think Jagat talked about Vidphone and the new feature which they brought about, which is like Vmail, right? So like a lot of us actually they enjoy. We are having a lot of fun building great products, right, all the time. But how do we really keep our focus on and be more persistent about that particular product and scale enough in that particular segment? Because what we constantly try to do is like move from one feature to another, move from one product to another. But many a times we really we don't really package it too well and really don't take it in the right way to the right audiences. Say, for example, for us, we believe that we have actually got a nice sweet spot where we have built good hardware and software. And wherever a shared economy plays their role, we can actually build a very good product in the market. Probably it will be globally competitive. But how do we really take it to all the e-mobility startups? How do we really package it appropriately and showcase it to the world? Means sometimes what I've seen is like some of my customers, they actually tell our stories even better than us, and I think that is a kind of liberation for all of us, because when we see our customers retelling our stories in front of our other customers, right? So this, I have been lucky to witness that many a times, and in those moments we keep quiet and we keep shut, and then we listen to them and learn from them, right? Like so, but I think all of us need to do a lot more, and probably I'll need a lot more help there on how how I can actually package some of the newer initiatives which we are building, and probably if there is a kind of structured effort to provide this kind of support to each other, right? Then probably means we can do a lot more. So that is first part, and of course the second part is channel partnership, which I put on this slide. Uh, Generally, what I've seen is like means most of the companies when they were at an early stage, say for example, when Google started, they were actually supported. They were able to build those partnerships with AOL and Yahoo, right, where they provided their widgets, and they were able to scale with that. Even actually, Dropbox started scaling up when they had their apps pre-installed in Samsung phones, which gave them the hyper growth all the time, right? So there are like numerous such examples. Now what we may not really expect a cred kind of platform to means position our products there in their platform. Maybe it's probably cred could do that, right? Like they could actually select 5 startups every month, and position is there. But what do we have in offer? Means what kind of offer do we have for them, right? Probably it's not a very balanced partnership. So generally, like, it comes down to all of us here in the who are in the waters, and how we can really support each other and build our channel partnerships. What I mean from that is, like, say for example, Venkat today talked about he's connected with a lot of FMCG companies. Now we are actually trying to solve the EV problem for the last mile logistics. So how do I actually reach out to Venkat, let him know, understand that okay, this is somewhere we can add further value to his customers, and really build a story to his customers that which means adds a lot more value ultimately to all of us, right? So how do we really means, I have seen a lot of accelerators where we sit together, in even in NASCOM we used to, all the startups used to sit together, but we never actually means really started working with each other on our customers, right? So uh, I have been working with a lot of malls and hospitals. How can I actually give entry to all the other startups who are working in this space, or probably whom they want? At least if I can provide them my leads, they can just go and talk and probably convert some of that. So if I can get some help in, because means everything is it's all about B2B partnerships these days, and if we can actually support each other, I can get some more help in this area. Then I think it will lead a faster growth for all of us. Right. Thanks. So, any questions here or anything? Any
Oh,
comments?
this is good. This is good. What you should do now is, Nawal, just take the the text and put it on the chat window also. And,
Okay.
and then now, Venkat, would you like to go ahead with
Yeah.
your slide of your two challenges, please?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
You can screen share. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So I don't have as such a problem statement, but I will share my screen for audience. Sorry.
You can be, even if it's a one liner, right? It helps. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. So, so this is the entire solution. The one of the first problem I would like to bring it here is identifying the early adopters. So, especially in B2B, when we are digitizing the entire value chain, many of the customers, especially in India, they expected somebody else to experiment and see values before they can adapt. So, some people are very excited the moment they see the value, they are jumping on. So, identifying such people in a vertical first is a breakthrough. Once you have that opportunity, then you can show the value for them. So that is the first challenge: identifying the early adopters for the innovative solutions. Couple of our innovations are first time in the world, like Jagat was saying about the Vmail, and we have a crypto blocks, and we are transferring the blockchain application. One of the challenge in the blockchain is the cost and complexity. So both we have addressed. Of course, it took some time to build the solution. We have addressed. Now we need the early adapters. That is the first one. Second challenge what I have is the conversion cycle. When we give introduction, pilot, then deployment, agreeing to the commercials, all this is going for long cycle in a B2B space. So the conversion cycle is, of course, COVID is stretching it to the best extent possible. And the commercials, what we agreed in January, February, it is taking place in December. Of course, that is the kind of stretch we got from this. And third challenge is, of course, like any other startup, we are also going through the fundraise challenge. These are the three problem areas I would like to express.
Okay, TK. So just take these 3 pointers and just neatly type it out on the chat so that, because
Yes.
Nawal and Jagat have to have visibility for that.
Yeah, of course, I'm sharing right now on the chat
Please,
box.
please.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
thanks.
Thank
So
you.
much, man.
Thank you.
Okay, and Jagat, would you like to go next, please, quickly? Thanks, man.
So, a couple of challenges. I think these are very interesting challenges. The first one, at least. Am I audible? Hello?
Yeah, absolutely
Yeah.
clear. Yeah.
I think number one is, I think, the future roadmap. In our industry here, I think we have reached a product saturation, in terms of conferencing and webinars, actually, both of them. There is only this much more that actually I feel there is real upside. Today, when you look at the companies, most of the improvements are around, noise cancellation, background sounds, stuff like this. Backgrounds, they are quite superficial. I mean, nothing really radical. So one is, of course, the future roadmap. I think it's very interesting. 2021, we have to see how video actually, we had a kind of good start in 2020. Video really became center stage, video conferencing, webinars. But now I think we need to see the polished out, the finesse into how it's going to fit into real business processes, be it sales, be it support, be it marketing, or be it internal collaboration as well. So I think future roadmaps very, very exciting. That is definitely a challenge also, and would love to have inputs from other founders and users. What is it that probably that we can build out at Vidphone that the other players do not have? And by other players, I mean I think everyone knows who are the top, who are the kind of competition that we face. So we work very closely with our customers. Roadmap is very, very challenging. Second, of course, I think it's pretty much in sync with I think what Nawal also said, which is I would just call it overall the community and the ecosystem development, right? So channel partners again, I would say is a part of this. Once we have a good ecosystem, definitely you would have good win-wins between startups, even if there is certain referrals and stuff like this. So these are my two main challenges. Of course, the roadmap, and the second is the community and the ecosystem development.
So Jagat, you can also put your pointers across. All right. Now let me just for the refreshing everyone, I'm going to talk about the two things that Nawal has shared us. One is storytelling. Techies, those who are not really into marketing or PR, how do they get their story across? This is a skill that needs to be there in every founder. There's no choice. And very important is channel partnerships. And this is something that any organization, especially if you're into SaaS or an IT, whatever it is, and if you want a global play, you want to, push things out all across the country, you must have very, very strong channel partnerships. Yes, accelerators will focus only on their cohort. They will only focus on, paid POCs for themselves, and you can't blame them right now, because that is the budget that they have got from their parent. Okay, so I'm not too sure. Okay, someone agreed with me, I think. Okay, so I don't think that accelerators would really do anything for us, as you very correctly said. But founders, what can someone who maybe is running some PR company, marketing company, agency, or someone like Jagat with his Vmail, okay, can he do something for founders? I think we can have the conversation piece around that. So shall we start with that, guys? So Jagat and Venkat, you have to now look at what can you guys do for Nawal, and then we skip to say Venkat, and then we go last to Jagat. Okay.
Of course. Yeah. Sounds great. Thank you.
Is there any lack of clarity in what Nawal has said, or you guys are okay with that? Everything okay? Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay.
Venkat,
Done.
please go first. Thanks.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. My pet is joining to conversation once in a while.
Yeah. It wants you to buck up.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. So once again, Vijetha, can you please give me first question? Sorry.
So the two challenges, right? In what way can Nawal, and this is something that's not just about Nawal, okay? I would like to think about the channel partnerships part first, all right?
Yeah.
Because storytelling, PR, marketing is a skill. You have to practice it, and there's no choice about it, or you have to hire someone professional if you can afford it. But always from the heart, story is what really matters, Nawal, okay? And I mean, you guys have got a great story going, but how can you keep that refreshing and keep showing the new adaptabilities to the different industries, right? B2C, B2B, that's something that you have to work on. But channel partnerships, now I think this is something that you have to crack. So Venkat and Jagat, channel partnerships, what can be done around that?
Venkat, please go first if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Venkat, you can go. Yeah.
You'll be hearing. I'm trying to get that guy controlled.
No, I think we are not able to understand. He's giving the input.
He's telling some story.
Okay, let me take that. Then I think once he's silent, then you can probably pop back in.
Maybe I'll take it. Sorry, I came back. Let me take it. So, sorry. Yeah. Nawal, see, a couple of years back, I was discussing about this challenge where when we electrical vehicles are launched, we don't have an ecosystem where the charging stations are not available. Even charging stations available, I can't imagine waiting for 1 hour for my battery to charge it. So, and in a couple of events, I was exchanging this idea. Why do we need to wait? Why can't we have a battery exchange solutions? So, this one of the NASCOM event, this discussion came. A couple of people when they are talking about charging stations. I'm glad that you are working on that solution, which we were talking for some time. So, I felt this is obvious solution for the electrical ecosystem. One thing is what I would suggest is storytelling is this context way. Imagine waiting for 1 hour instead of just exchange your battery and go. But it needs a standardization, right? If I'm driving a car, all the charging, all the points should be compatible with a certain way so that I can exchange my battery available. Like if you make me mandatory that I have to go to say HP petrol pump, I cannot go all the way all the time go and find a HP petrol pump. I can't go for. Similarly, if you have a standards established across that, one is storytelling context. You have a clear context where 1 hour waiting or 1 minute exchange of battery. Second thing is the compatibility. If you are a part of regulatory and it is a part of regulatory standard you are following such that any battery, any brand, any chemical, you just replace and keep going and something else monitors. You might have already taken care of that, but being in part of that. And when you say that you are contractually, you are saying saving time and you are compatible with the standard, I think doors opens. I think
Right.
that's the take I hand over to Jagat. Yeah. And maybe I would like to hear from Nawal if he has.
Yeah, I think before we move further, probably I'll just comment on what Venkat said to close the loop, right? So I think the focus on standards is, of course, a very crucial thing. We have actually seen this kind of thing in a lot of countries, like say, let's say, for example, China, which is an early adopter in the EV ecosystem. And what we have seen is like the adoption of EV there is completely chaotic because everybody is really following their own standards. The battery sizes are not uniform. The connectors are not uniform, and there are no standards defined as such. Even in European Union and a lot of other lot of countries across the world, they are actually struggling to define the standards. Uh, so what we are also trying to do here is how we can really form a kind of consortium, right, but with the EV ecosystem players and define the open standards for the Indian use cases. Again, is probably what I see is like this will be an evolution. Adoption of EV will be an evolution in India. Means we'll not really have B2C players like us using the services upfront. Probably it will be more targeted with the B2B players, like let's say the logistics guys. They will be solving the last mile logistics and supply chain issues of deliveries, like the Swiggies and Zomatos and Dunzos. They'll be actually leveraging the electric vehicles first. The distributors, they will be doing with three-wheelers. Probably the four-wheelers will take a longer cycle. So all that will gradually happen. The standards will emerge, and then it will come to the B2C players. When, as you talked about, like if you want to go to HP, you should be able to pick a battery which is compatible with your vehicle, right? So that I think that will take some time, right? So Right. Yeah.
Thanks,
So
Nawal, for shared that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a huge play, right? I mean, EV, whether it's B2C or B2B, you have logistics, you have ports, you have the government is trying to push smart urban cities.
Right.
And, Naval, but I think one of the challenges you might be facing is manufacturing itself, right? If you want to really upscale and you
Right.
want to get channel partners, now
Right.
who are these channel partners going to be if they don't have the, wherewithal or the technology capability? So what are the, just to quickly understand from you, Naval, and this is something for all of us, when you say channel partners, can you give us examples, concrete examples of who have you approached, whether it's working or not is not the point here.
Right.
Give us a persona for your channel partners.
Yeah, so here actually this particular statement was more for our discussion here today, right? For our community, right? So it could be means in other scenarios it could be different kinds of channel partners. Say for example, somebody who is let's say for our EV portfolio where we are providing charging and battery swapping solutions, it could be Hero Electric or Bajaj, right? When they are selling their vehicles, they need not sell the vehicle with the with a battery, right? So it's currently, like say for example, if somebody wants to, let's say Dunzo person wants to use a two-wheeler, they end up paying a rental of 2,500 rupees per month. What we are trying to do here is, instead of let's say you rent a Miracle, Yulo Miracle, or a Bounce bike, it's around again 2,500 rupees per month, which they use, right? Now if we can actually bring it down to 450 rupees, and if they can actually purchase, it becomes a kind of EMI, right? Then we are talking about an ecosystem partnership with financial companies, like all the lenders in the universe, and also all the manufacturing companies whom we are asking not to sell the vehicle along with the battery. We are saying that we are getting you covered, buddy. Means we are actually building the whole ecosystem where all these at all these points will be providing all the stations where they can put the charging, or they can actually swap and take battery as a service, right? Like on a SaaS basis. So of course, in the larger ecosystem, I'm talking about those partnerships. But here, for today's context, it is more about how we can really, for today's discussion, how we can really collaborate and share the leads which we have for each other, right? Probably, as I said, Venkat is the right person for me, who is already working with a lot of logistics companies and FMCG companies. How can actually and these FMCG companies have huge distribution network. How can actually penetrate into that and put my EV charging stations and kiosks and swapping stations there? And probably if Venkat can share some of the leads, and we can actually do that between each other. I think that is a small start, but it makes it very
Understood your point.
yeah.
Got it. Okay, TK. Great. Jagat, would you like to add some pointers now?
Yeah, very interesting because I want to share with you. I shared on the founders feed some probably a week ago. Naval, this
Yeah.
may be used to you. Let me just share this. It was actually a webinar I attended of, I think it was Sequoia.
Hmm.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
See this. I just wanted to. I took the screenshot because I thought it'd be useful. See,
Yeah.
movies and companies. This person who was talking was given a very nice analogy. In the movies, you have the characters. In the companies, you have the customers.
Right.
In the movies, you have the plot, and in the companies, you have the product. And the thing is, in the movies, what is a movie? What is a story? Basically, it gets us to that very fundamental question. A story means there is some character. He has to be a character, okay, a person who is your TG. He's your target customer in the analogy, and he goes through some struggles. He has some problem. And that struggle he is overcoming, and then he's succeeding in the end, right? It could be the love failure, falling in love with the girl, whatever.
Right.
That's the movie side. And on the companies, you have a similar kind of. So I think one way to look at the storytelling is to come to that person and that problem exactly, right? And then to architect it straight from there. I shared this, and this is another screen. Here, the conflict, development, and the resolution, right? You can probably take a screenshot of this, Nawal. It might help. So you have the problem. Then what are the stakes? Getting worse. Then the steps. This whole flow, just like the movies, is the company's journey as well. The superhero or the character for us is the customer. That customer has a love problem or whatever problem he's got, right? And how is our product? How is he using our product as the plot of that movie? And each step it is being solved that way. It was just something that I felt relevant. That's why I just shared that screen, because I had taken that screenshot some time back, right? You can check on the founders video and resend it. But it's a very
Sure.
good way to think about it. I think Because storytelling, as you know, if I think both of us are from the, we'd rather build out the product than talk about it, right? But I think that's critical today, right? Today, when we look at all the guys, it's all become about storytelling. How good can you make up the story, right? Whether the product is actually working or not, nobody cares. It's almost become like that. In fact, I'm seeing 2 days back, I saw one company that has launched and they call themselves the Zoom alternative for India. They're from VIT Vellore, some 3 college students, and they've come up on your story. So the story is great, but the product is not even working. So I think both should go hand in hand. Many times, if you overtell the story and the product does not match up, then maybe we sound stupid. But at the same time, not everyone can go through that product. So then the story. But I think keeping that character or the target customer as your superhero, as your hero in the film, what are the target customers? Like, for example, Plugo, because I don't know much about the other business details, but Plugo is, your case is very straightforward, right? I'm in a very, very important meeting and, boom, my battery is dead. And there I'm in a coffee shop waiting for my, customer or investor, and there is a Plugo point right there. Boom, I'm doing something like this. I think that could give some hint into how you can approach the solution.
Sure.
And the partnerships, $1 million question, right? I think that's, in fact, if you look at all the reason why, let's say, Microsoft Teams or Google is used, it's really because they are entrenched. Now, already you have Google or Microsoft Teams, whatever. So it becomes easy. One way is, I do believe, and I've said this before also on our programs, Startup Sunday, also with LXS, we need this startup suite. Just like you have a G Suite or Microsoft Suite, we need 15 or 30 startups to come and provide this collective solution. So that, like you said, let's say Venkat makes an entry or I make an entry into Danfoss or Citroen or whatever. Now, instead of just talking about Vidphone, of course, for each of us, our primary business, that is, we have to make sure that we close it. That's critical. But how can we kind of offer, tell them like, we are just 1/30th of your solution, right? We have another 29 partners, all of them who are, running at fairly good, it's not early stage. And these are guys who have done some good work with other customers and they have trust. That would be a way I feel, like a suite. They can be completely unrelated. There is no need to be related at all. Like, for example, a Google, well, you can see, they have a whole range of products. One is not related to the other, right? They're tying the products and dumping in the marketplace. So I think startups, we should consider something like a startup suite. And how do we best go and, when one of us talk to an enterprise customer, it's all about relationship, right? These are businesses who know us for 10 years and suddenly they will call up and say, hey, Jagat, I have this problem, help me out, right? That's typically how it works, that. So there, already we have the trust, right? They will not call anybody else. They will only call us. So there we need to, and at the same time, we must be very high integrity, right? We should not do it for the sake of sale or commission or stuff like this. I think it should be very genuine. The product should work brilliantly and people should, neck should be on the line. I think that could be a good model, when we have a suite, startup suite, where different founders like you and I come together and there is revenue sharing, definitely, right? Why would I, like, for example, like, why would you promote my product? But if you can make a small cut out of that, it adds to your revenue stream also. So that has to be tied in, right? It's not just, hey, word of mouth referral, I just talk a good word. It doesn't work that way. We can
there has to be a business. There has to be a business model also.
Yes, because that's what really motivates each of the partners also. Every channel partner today is in business, not because he wants to help Jagat or Nawal. He has to make money also. So I think that we can explore, something like that. I feel startup suite, very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Excellent.
Yeah, excellent. I think Jagat's indirectly told Nawal to hire the Vellore students.
No. I told you, right? Business B2B deals, Venkat. Nawal used to sit behind me at NASCOM. So he will not go to my company.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
See, this is an interesting thing, right? See, even community, right? Though you have the ties, the NASCOMs, the FICI, the CIs of the world, but we also have to understand that what do these communities want? How do these organizations still survive? Okay. And sometimes, the founders, if they're not understanding that point of view, also, like, I think we are weak in certain things. Jagat, I think we discussed this in the afternoon also, right? That we are trying to do so much to build your community. but where are the founders stepping up and supporting? Or should we always look beyond the founders? And for me, that is not the right way. Okay, the founders must come together, but yes, there should be a win-win situation. If Jagat is helping Nawal, or if Nawal is helping Jagat, or whatever it is, you all should gain something out of it, right? Because you're after all founders, you'll have to run your business, you need to make money. So it's not an easy answer, but this is something that maybe offline you guys should also talk about and put together some activities. All right, great.
One note, Vijetha, I just want to mention. I think that's a very good point, because we discuss this all the time, right? How do we get more people putting their best foot forward first? So I think one template that I have found, and I'm sure we both kind of do it similarly, is we paid forward. Typically, we don't wait for somebody to help us to help them, right?
Yeah.
We help them, whatever we can. I think that spirit should come to founders, where I think that is a matter of the maturity of the ecosystem as well, right? When you have a bunch of founders who have built companies, shut them down or sold them, like seen the life cycles, then I think that maturity comes in saying that, hey, it's not about a transactional, today I get a deal. It's not like that, right? That mindset, I think, will come with maturity. So this is my thought process. I don't think we can push that. Every founder, and guys who are just about starting today, 1 year or etc., obviously there's a high level of stress for them, right? They're just thinking, how can I survive tomorrow? And that's valid. But maybe it just requires that time that they spend to realize, hey, 2 years back, the conversation I had, today I got a massive deal with that, right? So instant gratification does not work in startups. Things happen long term. So as a matter of principle, I think at least the founders in our ecosystem, I think all of us are mature also. We always look to help first, because then, see, you're obligated also, right? And that's the beauty of life. The moment someone helps somebody, back of the mind, always he will look to help him back, return the favor. So maybe something like this.
Okay, done deal. Okay, now in the interest of time, let's very quickly move forward to now Venkat. All right. So he has put forth his 2 challenges. Okay, you guys have taken a look at it.
Yeah.
One is first one, early adapters. Second one is a conversion cycle. Third one is fundraise.
Okay. So guys, remember it is now 7:10. So we don't within very crisply. Okay, so Jagat, would you like to go first, or Nawal wants to go first to see what we can do for Venkat?
Nawal, please go ahead.
Sure. Thanks. Thank you. So I think Venkat, probably a lot of us face this challenge all the time, right? So what you have suggested. Now, what I believe is is when our storytelling is about technology, that probably then it doesn't work, right? When you're looking for your early adopters, you said, then probably I think, say for example, if you take my domain, probably there is a very strong need for blockchain here, because there are so many other ecosystem players, and we have to really build ledgers for everybody, right? So I think we have to really be very domain specific, package your technical solution for that particular domain, and then you will find that sweet spot where you can actually sell, get your first set of customers. For the seed fund, of course, I think there are a lot of companies who are very focused on particular segments, and I think we have to run around that, right? We have to really look for those particular niche VCs or the ecosystem players who are really focused on your portfolio, whether you're working on a B2B model or a B2C, or probably if it's a blockchain specific, then definitely I think there'll be a handful, 10 to 15 players will be working in that particular area, and you have to really target them. And maybe I think conferences and these kind of events are the best sources where you can actually freely chat with them.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thanks, Nawal. I appreciate that. Actually, well said. And with respect to the domain specific, yes, we have identified a couple of domains, and that's definitely working well. And thanks for coming out with this session. And of course, in investment also, there are a couple of conversations are going on, and I think we are in the same path like what you suggested.
Perfect.
But thanks for bringing up that. Yeah.
And guys, I'm just getting a Deepak coming in from, because he wants to add some comments.
Yes, he has added something. Yeah.
I'm just trying to get him out there.
Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, Deepak. Perfect.
Yeah, hi guys. I'm sorry, I'm in after I think nearly a month. I've been attending this session,
No
and
problem.
I think it's a fantastic initiative that Jagat and Vijetha have been driving. So now I wanted to add to what Jagat was saying in terms of building a partner ecosystem where you can leverage each other's client base And I'd like to share my own example in this so that you could look at similar platforms that you can create. So just to introduce, I think Jagat and Vijetha know what I do, but for the interest of the others, I provide IT infrastructure services to startups, and so startups are my TG, so to say. Startups and scaling, funded startups is whom we address. And so then what I did was I also looked at the other service providers who, any startup, it could be vertical agnostic. So obviously everyone needs a chartered accountant to do their statutory compliances. Everyone needs to hire, so they need a HR recruiting agency. So what I have done is I have built a platform. I have just given it an acronym called SOSES, which stands for Startup and Scaling Up Ecosystem Services. So we are a bunch of 5 people. And like Jagat said, we are all independent business owners. So we really are not stakeholders as such between, of each other's companies. But we know each other that so well that we are able to, what would I say, find opportunities for each other. And the important thing is that we are all complementary to each other's services. And these are services that any organization or the kind of people that we are working with will need. So if you guys are able to look at similar complementary services, obviously you don't want to step onto each other's toes, right? At the same time, you should be able to address the same market and be able to easily connect each other. So if you are able to create a similar platform for yourselves and look at someone who's going to complement, like Nawad was saying, right? I mean, if he can associate with a finance company, I mean, that's something which is logical that anyone who's buying something will look at. So if you're able to look at people who are, who can complement each other in terms of your services, I think you can definitely leverage each other's contact base and clients and
makes
help
sense.
each other's business.
That makes definitely sense. Thanks for that input. And
Absolutely.
good to see you online as well.
Yeah, thanks, Vijetha.
Okay, man. Thanks, Deepak. Let's stay in touch, okay?
Yeah.
Good of you to join, and hang on. I'm sure there'll be some very interesting stuff coming in. And any other resources that you want to share on the chat, go ahead, Deepak. Please do that, okay?
Sure. Okay. Thanks, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Deepak. Take care, buddy.
Thanks. Bye.
Yeah. Okay.
Good to have Deepak.
Yeah. Good. Sorry. So we okay. Anything from you, Jagat, for Venkat?
Definitely. I think I think there's a $1 million question for startups, right? Early adoption is everything. And one of the things that I kind of have learned, or at least we're implementing more, is micro niching. I think that's very important. Typically, all of our startups, even when I pitch, I say we are video communications, video platform. Doesn't work. It has to be very specific. Video platform for sales, video platform for marketing, video platform for the real estate companies. So it is, I think this is something that we learned, right? So I think that micro niche helps get the early adopter because it becomes very defined. Now, the moment I say, blockchain, obviously, I mean, I'm sure, Venkat, you've been doing the business for a while, and blockchain automatically comes into the traceability, that's the main ledger is the main idea of blockchain. But I think that no one's going to buy it as for blockchain. People are going to buy it as to which TG specifically, Ciphercode is going to actually address. So I think that if we can pull out in the beginning itself, that may help us. Like, for example, now video conferencing, when we say for Vidphone, we are really about startups and SMEs. So we don't work too much with, at least when we are doing for the startups, our startup products are purely for startups. Enterprise, we have separate engagement model itself. But startups, because then the startup guys knows, hey, whether it's XYZ or Vidphone, this is specific to me. So it helps that early adoption from themselves. I think that positioning, micro niche, is something that I think, for example, like I could say that I have a business coach, right? Like I help founders improve their business, number one. Second, I could say I help founders increase their sales. That also is still generic. But then I can say I help founders improve their video sales. Now, the moment I say video sales, that becomes very, very, it's a blue ocean. So I think that helps in the early adoption. I think it's in our own messaging sometimes. And that will help us. Maybe, I don't know if it was useful, but I think micro niche really helps us in narrowing down the that particular early adopter issue.
Yeah.
I think I'm just
And I
trying to
think,
pull up the second question. Yeah, long conversion cycle. Well, enterprise, I think classic enterprise problem, right? 1 year, as you said, January it started and December we are closing. But I think Vmail, really, I mean, I don't like to sell my product, but every time, what we are building is in sync with these problems. Because, Venkat, not only you, but I think all startup founders in B2B have the same issue. Long sales cycle time.
That's true.
And the challenge there is, the fact is that a B2B deal is done after 6 to 10 interactions, or maybe more, right?
Yeah.
6 to 10 interactions. Now with COVID, before we used to say, okay, I'll come to your office, meet at my office, meet at Starbucks.
Yeah.
Today, what do?
Yeah.
It cannot just be call after call. And Zoom, no one wants to come to a Zoom call.
Yeah.
So what is the solution? So that's why we built Vmail. So now what we do is, the moment you have a lead, okay, let's say email of a particular person. I mean, I'm not even saying there is a qualified lead. We just have the high level, okay, email. Now that email that we have, he's going to pass through some 7 or 8 interactions till he becomes really a prospect or even a customer. What are those 7 or 8 interactions we have to define? Because if we can do that within, let's say, 2 months or 3 months, that would help. The first one could be a webinar, for example. You are a specialist in blockchain. Venkat should be the person who's talking about this to his audiences. So first they come to your webinar, they give you the email lead. Then we have what we call video automation. So the moment the email comes, next day he's getting a thank you for attending the webinar. 3 days later, he's getting another small email from you where it is like, this is a new product update, or this is your sector, something specific to his business. 2-3 interactions. So this way, what we call like the video sales funnel itself is a funnel. And the different interactions in this funnel. How can we get 10 different unique interactions with that customer and us in 3 months? 90 days. So every 9 days or 1 week, there is one interaction. Obviously, towards the end, towards the closure, it might be more tight. So 2-3 in a week. But if we can think about it this way, how can we manage to push those interactions to happen faster?
Yeah.
That conversion will reduce. With this kind of thought process. So we have Vmail, video meetings, and webinars. These are the 3 main things in video today. Remote sales means 3 things.
Absolutely.
The mix and
match. Thanks, Jagat. Appreciate that. Yeah. So the first one is micro niche. Yes, that is definitely a very important. You need to plug the right plug and socket. You have to figure out. So the micro niche, absolutely right. And coming to the long cycle, what we figured out also a couple of things is start with this micro niche. Once you identify, start early conversation as early as possible with as many as, and so that you can fill your funnel in right way. And third thing, what we did was identify their priorities and see whether you can fit into their priorities to reduce your sales cycle time. So once we identify, in a couple of cases, we were able to identify our solution is fitting into their priorities where things are happened very early. And it's not that easy to identify their priorities. By the time you reach to identify their priorities, you might be in 7th or 8th conversation. So yes, it all together comes to there, and we have to start early. Yeah, thanks, Jagat. Thanks for giving such initiatives. And what the one point you said is you plan all that 7 to 8 stages, how you are going to progressively take them in the journey. That's very critical. Thank you. Yeah.
Awesome. So now, guys, we're in 7:23. So Jagat, you want to talk about your 2 challenges once again for refreshing the memory of Venkat and Nawal?
Definitely. I think number one is, and all of us are on video now, and I'm sure all of you use video tools. What are your, just your inputs, right? If you were in my position, or let's not do it that way. Let's say that what are the challenges that you are facing, limitations with, let's say, video meetings. You may use maybe Teams, Zoom, whatever, or Meet, etc. Your phone calls, still business happens on phone and in-person meetings. Right? One thing that I find with the Zoom, I mean the overall thing, and why we have built it differently for the past 4 years, is we believe in a permanent video ID. It's very important. At an authentication level, video still does not have. See, you have a permanent phone number. It's unique to you. Anybody can call you from any network, anywhere, one number they call you, whether I'm on Airtel to Vodafone, etc. Even email, same thing. You have a unique email address. I can mail you from Gmail, Vmail, whatever. Sorry, not Vmail. Gmail, Rediff, etc., etc. But in video, we have a big challenge. You don't have a permanent video auth. I need to be on Skype to call you on Skype, or I need to be on Zoom to call you on Zoom. This is a big challenge which we have identified, and we are solving this by making it browser-based, cross-platform, unique ID. We have, I think, moved in that. So in your visiting card, along with email and phone number, you'll also have Vidphone ID. Vidphone.me/Nawal, Vidphone.me/Venkat. Anyone who wants to come and connect with you, a prospective customer, he comes here, clicks a button, and he's starting a call, or he schedules a call with you. So that's one. What are your inputs, and where do you see video going in 2021? The second is, of course, ecosystem, which is, I think, a long-term solution. What can we do, right? I mean, for example, Vijetha, myself, we have been running this for a few months now, and it's been really wonderful experience. How do we get better, right? What do we look at in 2021? What would you like to see? Of course, I think everyone wants money, customers, and investors. We'll get to that. But actionably, how can we kind of, your thoughts? I hope that.
Yeah. So maybe with Nawal permission, I will take up.
Sure.
So, hey, first of all, thanks for giving this beautiful platform where we are talking today. Thank you so much. Yeah. And coming to the making a video ID, I want to context it with WhatsApp. For example, if I make a WhatsApp video call and conference, there is a number, right? And only one thing what you can differentiate there, what I'm seeing is you can bring up some of the my work environment. Now I'm making a video call with my client, bringing up some of the applications, my presentation, or if I'm talking to the customer, or I'm talking to the colleague, bringing out my Visual Studio Code into the interface so that seamlessly I can engage. These are the things I think which we expect. Coming to the first one, the ID, single ID, I think that will continue as a problem for some time, where you are going to have a single ID. For now, people might be relaxed with WhatsApp, but WhatsApp doesn't serve all the official purposes what we need. So what I'm going to look for long term is pulling out your applications, the environment, one by one, which is predominantly used. Instead of going tabbing and looking at solution, if somewhere you provide a plugin for the applications used, dominant applications, where seamlessly I can talk to Nawal, sharing my presentation, whatever it is, that might be the future what we can expect on the platform.
Thanks for that, Venkat.
Yeah. So I'll go through this quickly, because I think I might have a lot, because I have worked closely with Eric Yuan while he was the founder of Zoom, right? While I was at Cisco. So I used to work closely with WebEx communities, and I have seen the evolution WebEx has gone through, and Zoom, why it came out of WebEx, what were the internals, right? Like what were the kind of conflicts which happened, right? So I have seen lot of that while I was at Cisco, and definitely I have some clear insight, like, because both the companies tried a lot of things in the early days and actually found their fit in the market, right? So certainly I think probably Jagat is in the right direction. He has to just keep persisting. And Jagat, I think you have to. I think Vidphone ID is a very useful niche to be in. But I think you have to do it very dedicatedly to a particular enterprise. Now you cannot really do it B2C, right? Probably you can start with, let's say, a small company where actually everybody adopts this particular ID. I think when you talk about the how do we really build our roadmap, means it is more about like simplifying the whole experience of onboarding at this moment, rather than adding more features on your platform. That's what I feel, because I think you have done enough on the features front, and then how can we really take this forward and simplify the whole experience. When I started Plugo, we actually talked to more than 1,000 plus users before I had my first product, because it was a hardware intensive product and required a lot of money to build. So I really talked to 1,000 plus customers and mimicked how they want to rent a power bank or return a power bank, and I was able to actually get it done. So I think all of us need to actually find those kind of hacks and try our new product fit, and really don't get into the product development or feature development until we get that kind of adoption, right? And follow it through, right? So yeah.
Interesting, man. Interesting, guys. It is
Thank you.
yeah, Yeah, it's 7:30 sharp. So now, guys, what I would like you all to do is, Jagat, you each of you have got inputs from the other. Just put a couple of points that you think that you all can work on over the next 45 days or 90 days. That's important. The other thing that I want to request you guys is your productivity tools. Okay, if you can just tell me, like, because as founders to founders, all of you have only 24 hours in your day. There's so much to do. How do you really manage your day? I mean, if there are some things you're doing well, some things you want to do better, but very, very crisp. Okay, you should not take more than, say, 60 to 90 seconds to talk about it. Sales, productivity, and what have you all learned or whatever. Just talk about those things, and then we can kind of draw ourselves to the close. Please, whoever wants to go first.
Sorry, I was just typing. I kind of didn't focus on what you said. I'm so sorry. Could you just
Yeah,
repeat?
so you wrote something on focus on adoption, whatever. See, what I'm saying is that now you guys have got some inputs from each of the other persons, right? So what do you think you can use some of these insights in the next 45 days to 90 days is number one. And number two is productivity tools, which could be also linked to increasing sales, right? Because ultimately, I think that's what matters to all of us. Correct? You want to increase sales, increase cash flow into your companies, etc. I mean, Nawal's talking about channel partnerships. So what is he going to do now to build channel partnerships? Because we're on 7:30 sharp. Maybe another 5 or 10 minutes more max is when we want to continue this conversation. So whoever wants to go next, please talk about it like a summary sheet or whatever. Okay, whoever wants to go first.
Yeah, so probably I'll just take that, Vijetha. So
Please, Nawal, go ahead.
yeah, so I think we tried a lot of things, right? I think it's more than tools. What it really worked for us, right? I told that probably in 2 3 months we were able to build more than 1,000 plus partnerships, right? So those were like through field sales as well as through B2B partnerships, through cold calling and all other things. Of course, means the database helps, and means there are a lot of tools in the market to get the email IDs and phone numbers from LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn, definitely, I think LinkedIn certainly helped us. The LinkedIn sales tools helped, and all the add-ons for getting all these data, right? So, but having a great team is imperial. That means who can make you redundant, right? Then only I think you can really be productive, and you can actually build your all these partnerships.
Thanks, man. That makes sense. Good.
Coming to productivity tools, sorry, Vijetha, you're saying something.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Who's next? That's my next question.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I think I jumped in to save the time.
Oh, no problem.
So yeah, so productivity tools, yes, as Nawal said, for sales perspective, one is LinkedIn, other one is identifying the CSPs, complementary solution providers. So you are a complementary. If you identify a complementary solution providers, we have identified a couple of places where we can complementary plug in. And if you can identify a customer who has already a large set of customers, then you good to go. So once you convince, you have to convince one person for the 1,000 customers. So that is the one productive way to for sales. And coming to the my day-to-day productivity, I maintain my Microsoft Notes in my mobile phone. I just open it in a single click and note down quickly into that. So all my entire 24 hours, whenever something comes to mind, I note it down there. That I will take up whenever I am free. I will go to my notes and look at it, Microsoft Notes. And a tracking system, and I am still old style. I think I maintain the Google Sheet and put an icon on my screen on the mobile phone. I just click and see my tracking activities. How it's going. Morning, first thing I do that one and set a couple of things to close on that day. These are the two things quickly I brought up.
Okay, beautiful. So, but you capture everything, right, Venkat? That's the key. So
Yeah, absolutely.
nothing is left to memory or chance. So you can always review it later on and everything. Wow.
Yeah, correct.
Makes sense, man. Thanks, Venkat, for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, please. Who would like to go next, Jagat?
Yeah, sure. As I've mentioned, I think my first thing is the productivity tools. I think from 2011, we only have one tool in the company apart from email, which is Asana. Okay, we just kind of stuck with it. We tried various tools, Slack, everything. Nothing works for us. For us, Asana is good. It just works for me a lot because we're used to it. 10 years almost we use Asana, and definite actionables, right? I think one is the point that Venkat mentioned, which is where the video is not the focus of the meeting. It's the screen. It's the other tools that I have. So definitely, I think coming week itself, we will ship something on that. You will see that you will have the conferencing going on, but you won't have to keep jumping between screen shares, right? Your main application will kind of be the center, and maybe the calling will happen kind of in the application. I mean, we'll see how to work that out. Maybe that's the essence of what you said, Venkat.
Yeah, something like your chat box. I can chat there. Yeah.
Which one? Chat box. Yeah.
Something like
Right.
your chat box. I can straight away chat there. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chat box. Yeah,
Definitely. Nawal's point also with adoption. I mean, that's what we've been doing. Look, honestly speaking, ours is like it's a crazy place to be, right? I mean, basically we built out the same browser-based conferencing, which today Microsoft Teams and Google Meet is, and we had this for almost from 3 years. Like, we pretty much had the whole thing. And my belief was that yes, we've kind of, beginning of this year, I was like, okay, we're in good shape. But obviously, when you have such large competition,
Correct.
product. I mean, I'm completely okay with fair priced products by corporates. Corporate should not be in the business of giving free products unless it's for a limited period or a trial. Free products, only the government or not for profit should give free product. If you're a company, you have no business dumping free product. So it's been a learning for us by fire this past 9 months. Absolutely unbelievable, because your business model itself is kind of 500 rupees per month per user was our assumption of the revenue. We're very much more subsidized than general conferencing. But now overnight it's all zero. It's all, and your competition is not your neighbor. It's like Google, Microsoft, and Zoom. So it's been a revelation for at least me and Akhil, and I think Akhil, brilliant developer as well, and our CTO. So it's made us definitely very strong internally. Vmail, I think, is great because it gives us again an opportunity to zoom out and to kind of look at the bigger picture. Are we productive? And the answer with Zoom and probably with Meets is probably not. And that answer has to be solved, right? So that's my thing. I think both the inputs very valued, and we will act on it this week itself.
One question, Jagat. So, being you are having such a small competitors other side, and you ever tried to get into the government project, like a lot of government departments and those things, and through the Startup India program or so, where you can mandate in a made in India product can be used within the governments like state government or central government. Did you look into that channel anytime?
So there was some video conferencing challenge that was there. I think earlier this year, there was a company in Kerala, I think, who won that event. They won that award.
No.
That actually, they were giving money for building the product. We have actually already built the product. It's all ready, right? And I was kind of surprised that we didn't even qualify. It was absurd. I mean, I don't know what was wrong, right? So, but yeah, generally, to answer that question, Venkat, I like to say, we want to be an enterprise and a company-specific solution. Government, work only with government exclusively. I think there are, I worked with the ruling party, both here in Karnataka, very, very closely. And let me tell you that, I prefer working with corporates and founders because that's where really innovation happens, and, we are on our toes. Yeah, it's a good point. But I don't. I mean, for us, we like to be in this deep end and slug it out at least as long as we can. So let's see how that goes. Because I think point is valid, but Venkat, the problem is when you're doing purely government, it's a work by itself, right? I mean, you have to just be there, beck and call, and there are hundreds of customizations. So obviously, it's a different probably route, but completely open. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no easy world out there. Anyway, that's
of course. So we are working with government for a couple of projects. So last almost 7-8 months. So we are learning certain things in that space.
okay. Good, great. Yeah, great. So,
we will reach out a lot more aggressively because I think that I think Vijetha also may know there was this Kerala company that won it, but no news. I don't hear anything. In fact, I saw the government were still using WebEx, I think, and I don't understand what's happening. So.
Anyway, we'll not go there, guys. Okay, let's avoid all these kind of conversations. So, see, what I would like to also now to do is, I mean, see, it's about community, right? Nawal, for you, Venkat, and Jagat. So, as you guys know, we are also doing this League of Extraordinary Startups. You're part of this founders feed, the LinkedIn, I mean, the WhatsApp group, etc. So, would love to get from each one of you some more, the references and everything, Nawal, right? Anyone who's a founder, entrepreneur, co-founder. See, one of the things that we believe also we should do lots more for women entrepreneurs, for women co-founders. So much, it's like even if we see our own sessions and sometimes even this other sessions I'm doing with Bangalore as well, we are trying our best to bring in more and more very qualified and very well-spoken communicators from the co-founder entrepreneur world who are women. We definitely would like to do more and more sessions around technology. For example, Venkat Ciphercode, right? So cyber security, etc., etc. These are some of the things that you know a lot about. Nawal, you definitely understand EV, the technology, and and this will help you guys all also, because when we do these sessions, the world knows about what you guys are up to. You can, like Nawal's challenge about building channel partnerships. How can that happen? Jagat is, he's got these very beautiful products, the Vmail, and he's got the video chat widgets that you can just embed very easily on the websites, etc., etc. Right? How can we do that? At TIE Bangalore, the only thing that matters to us is, can we do something for a member? So Jagat is a member. So what can we do more for him? How can we help all you entrepreneurs to get connected to more people, and help you to find your niche customers and basically make money, man? I mean, bottom line is all about that, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Business, and more business.
Yeah.
So listen, Sunday evening, 7:40, 1 hour, 10 minutes of conversation. I learned a lot. I've taken my notes. Venkat, you're the expert in doing these takeaways and one pagers and everything. So whenever you get time,
Yeah.
may take a few days also, it doesn't matter. But Jagat, maybe you can help him to prepare it. And what I can do, Venkat, if you can prepare something nice, I can even publish it on the Thai Bangalore blog. Medium. We have a
Okay.
Medium blog.
Okay.
I'll get it published over there. Okay. And Nawal,
Sure.
if you want to write something nice about EV and other things, B2C, B2B, prepare something. Look, we want to help people out here. We want the
Yeah,
world to know that. And see, it's also, Jagat, this is also about innovation. There is innovation happening in our country. And I think we should give a shout out to people like from NASCOM and from Your Story and Ink 42 and all these people who publish all this.
Yeah.
But can we do more? Right? I always come to that. Fantastic work being done, but can we do more?
Okay.
Okay? And
So,
please, Nawal, go ahead.
yes, Vijay. So, being anywhere, you need any technical expertise and knowledge share sessions with respect to cyber security, data security, and I'm available. Please.
Done deal, done deal. Okay, I think Jagat, we have been looking at that, right? The Vidphone story concept, the knowledge series, etc. We'll definitely tap you guys, yeah, 100%.
Okay. Sure.
All right, great.
Yep.
Nawal, anything else from your side, sir?
No, I think we are pretty good. Actually, it has been a great session and collaboration with all of you. And I think Jagat and I, we brainstormed on it in NASCOM a lot of times. And it's great that this platform has gradually evolved and we are getting this kind of participation. So certainly, I'd be happy to share more. I think we have definitely have loss and loss which we can actually offer to each other. Even on the tech side, on the IoT, I think we are doing some niche work, and definitely it will be great if we can actually share with the larger communities.
Beautiful. That's so going to be so awesome. Yeah, thanks, Venkat and Nawal. Jagat, any parting words from you, sir?
I mean, I just want to thank everyone. I hope it was useful. That's the main thing for me. I hope 1 hour. I know Sunday it's always tough with the family. But I hope there was some value, even if a small takeaway is there. I think it was better than the 1 hour just could have disappeared for us. I think I definitely got great inputs. Nawal, we should definitely connect more. Now that you are Edikuan's friend, I'm going to keep calling you.
I will see, guys. NASCOM.
Special thanks to Vijetha as well. You're a rock star.
Oh, anytime, sir.
Beginning, you asked how are these things like TIE and NASCOM and all running, and I think it's because of people like you.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. That's where the energy source. Yeah.
No, but see, one thing we'll do, right, Jagat? All this knowledge series that you've got, all the Vidphone TV recordings, right? Maybe with a few lines, you should just keep sharing as much as you can, some takeaways and other things, right? Nawal and Venkat, you guys can also help with that, with this session especially.
Yeah.
And let's disperse the knowledge, yeah? Let the world know that what we are capable of doing. And it will lead to more prosperity, more innovation, and more business. Ultimately, I mean, I care about that. As entrepreneurs, you guys must make lots of money. All right.
Yeah.
And with that note, thank you very
We
very
want to make money. We want to make others also make money along with us.
Absolutely. That's
And
the one.
thanks also to the audience of the show right now. We have few people on the
Correct.
bridge.
So it's
Thank
there
you.
on YouTube Live. It's there on Facebook Live. It's been recorded by Vidphone and being circulated. And let's keep the energy, guys, going. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vijetha. Appreciate that. Thanks, Nawal, and thanks, Jagat. And let us keep talking. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank
So
you.
one more episode of Startup Sunday comes to a close, but let's keep the energy flowing. Take care, guys.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care. Thank
Thanks.
you all.
Bye.
Bye.